Hello, my name is Karim and I'm with Fervor Barbecues. I want to spend a couple minutes today telling you about this great Fervor barbecue that we have sitting behind me. So Fervor is an Australian company. They've been building barbecues for decades and very, very well known in Australia. They're new to North America. And what they did is when they set out to build a barbecue, they wanted to address some of the main concerns that you and I as consumers typically have. And what they found after doing a little bit of research is that flare-ups was the number one concern that customers had. Ease of clean was also very high up on the list. And durability. People complained about buying what looked like a great barbecue, but within 2 or 3 years started to deteriorate where the stainless steel was rusting, etc. So those are the three main things that they set out to address when they built their barbecues. So we're going to spend a bit of time and I'm going to show you some of the really unique features that you find in the Fervor barbecue. The number one thing you're going to notice when you look at it right away is that on the model behind me here, which is the 655, there's actually a full-length window that runs across the lid. Now that is a unique feature because very few barbecues in the market now come with a window. The advantage of the window, especially for you and I that are living in cold climates perhaps, is that instead of opening and closing the lid on a regular basis to check if your steak is done or if your chicken needs to be turned, you just simply have to peek through the window and you'll be able to tell without letting all the air out. So that's a real nice feature that's incorporated in the Fervor barbecues. The other thing is that this lid is actually truly insulated. What I mean by that is if we lift the lid, there's an outer and an inner steel liner. Now that's not uncommon. If you look at most barbecues in the market, they're typically double walled like that. But when I tap on this, it sounds like there's something inside. On this door, it's double walled, but when I tap on it, it sounds hollow. It sounds hollow because it is. Here, there's actually a specially designed insulation, much similar to what you would have in a thermos, to keep your coffee hot, to keep that lid and keep all the heat inside the barbecue. Almost to the point where when it's running, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can actually, if you put your hand on here, you're not going to burn your hand. So it's really, really well insulated. And that helps to keep the heat inside the barbecue. So some of the other features that are really unique to the Fervor brand is what we call the Grillsmart cooking system. Now, Grillsmart is exactly what we call it, which is a smarter way to grill. Remember a few minutes ago I talked about flare-ups and not being able to control the heat and burning your food? Well, Fervor wanted to address that. And he did that with developing a system that's made up of the cooking grids, the burners, and the way that they work together to drain away the excess grease. So let's have a look. So this is the cooking grid. The first thing when you pick one up in a store, you'll notice that it's very heavy and it's cast iron. We choose to use cast iron because like famous chefs and restaurants, they realize that the best material to sear meat, such as steak, is cast iron because it holds the heat. It's a porcelain-coated cooking grid. Now, in terms of the Grillsmart cooking system, if you look at most barbecues, the cooking grid will sit perfectly flat and horizontal inside the barbecue. On ours, if I draw your attention to the back here, you'll see there's a little foot. That foot actually tilts the cooking grid forward ever so slightly and to work in conjunction with the grooves to drain the excess grease and juice away from the burners, which is what typically will cause flare-ups that are uncontrolled. So you're draining all that excess grease away, you're reducing the chance of flare-ups, you got better control over the temperature, it's healthier because you're draining the grease away, and it's much easier to clean. Because along the whole front edge of the barbecue, underneath those cooking grids, there's a trough that drains the grease away into a really easy to clean grease cup on the side. No longer do you have to reach in the back and fish around and try and remove a little tin can or a grease cup or have to turn the barbecue all the way around. So that is part of the Grillsmart cooking system. The other thing which is important to note is that when I put my hand behind this cooking grid, you can barely see my hand. And that's because the space between these tines is so tight. Now, that costs more money because you've got a lot more material. In most cases, 50% more than our competitors. But the difference is, it'd be like trying to cook with the window open, right? Or trying to heat your house with the window open. it keeps the heat inside the cooking grid as opposed to letting it go through the spaces. Other features that we have, we've got interior lights in the oven. So when it's this time of year in the fall, when it gets dark early, you can still grill, in the evening, in the middle of the night, whatever you like. There's lights on the knobs. This particular unit has 6 burners. It also has a built-in timer, and it has an infrared rear burner as well as a cast brass side burner. Other features which are quite nice and unique is it's got a full-size pull-out drawer, which you can use to store your accessories or use it as a warming drawer to keep plates warm. Plenty of storage underneath. And finally, you'll notice that there's a lot of stainless steel on here. Now, we spoke about durability. That was a common concern for most customers. So Fervor addresses that by using 304 stainless steel on all the stainless steel components. So it's marine grade stainless steel. It's going to last. It's not going to rust. Again, bearing in mind that Fervor is an Australian company, their product has to withstand salt air from being, along the coast. So it's a very good quality. Even on the painted surfaces, if you actually remove the paint, the steel underneath is a zinc-coated steel, which is rust resistant. There are 4 models in the Fervor range. The IC300R in red as a 3-burner, the IC350S, our 3-burner stainless steel model, the larger IC450S, our 4-burner model, and the largest model in the range for the party-loving entertainer, the IC655S, our 6-burner model. In conclusion, the Fervor brand is a very good quality barbecue designed with some truly unique features. Once you buy one, you will experience incredible cooking performance and durability. So thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and we hope that you'll be going into a store soon to get your new Fervor grill.